Welcome everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is simply Forex or Nadex, and we are in for session review right now. Now, what this is one of the first ones we're doing, is that I'm going to run through the most popular 10 pairs for what we're trading on Nadex or Forex. You're going to see me look at and assess the process. You won't see me place any trades at this point. I might put a trade on you, but I'll probably end up using demo at that point. In fact, I'll be using demo to show you where all this stuff is at. But I won't be putting any trades on this morning for Nadex, since Nadex is having some problems with their demo liquidity issues from that point. But I will show you where I would have gotten in at. This is not some flip around, make one video of it pointing down and another video of it pointing up. I'm going to actually be showing you, this will be all time capsuled in this process, and then I'll have a update review to this particular one. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to be making all these trades. I'm going to assess the market. I'm going to go through my process that I do, and you can follow through that process. I trade Nadex and I trade Forex, depending on liquidity and volume and what I see necessary. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull up my Forex MT4. I'm going to close this out. Don't pay attention to any alerts. I'm going to start out because I have set up my system. Let me see, make sure you can see everything I got. Okay, so I've set up my system to where I have them all in alphabetical order, the ones that I want, right? Up to this point right here. Okay, these three, don't worry about these. These are me testing other things, and that's just part of the issue here. Okay, I've already started a one trade process of getting in on the Auto USD, and we'll talk about that here right now. So the first thing that we do, we look for down arrow or down, and it's under the price. Yes, I set a 15-minute line here. Look at that, kind of works out. Okay, once it pierced this process, I put in an order. Now this is the reaction trade. Okay, this is a breakthrough trade that once it breaks through that line, because it did here, it just barely went over, and that's what I'm going with. Okay, I set my 1 to 2. Okay, this is my stop loss. This is my take profit. Okay, I set that up real quick and looking to make like 18 pips from there, or I think it's 18. Let me see. How many pips is it? About 14 pips. Okay, about 14 pips. So not too bad. So I'm going to let that sit and gel. Yeah, it's going to go against me sometimes, but this is what the whole game's about, right? Just picking your direction and going with it. Now, in this case, I'm using a breakthrough method, one of the methods here. We have one other method, which is called the retracement or the reversal or the bounce off or the retrace, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's look at the Audi JPY. This also has a little bit, I want to say that this is a pretty good functional trade, but it won't be until it hits down to here. We got down, we got sort of down. It's this dynamic line here is just kind of playing this 20. I'd want to see it trying to get down around here before I start making the decision. Okay, so my first call in for the Auto USD is the sell, and wherever it should go, I'm not going to try to be some sort of psychic. I'm just hoping that I get to my trade. If not, then it is what it is. Audi JPY, I'm not looking to get into this trade until I got some push. Now, this could be a Nadex level to get at. We could be looking at this this line right here at 87.36. Oops, let me do that again. 87.36, right around that area, as an at the money. But again, I'm not going to go down the line of all the different trades you could do. I wouldn't get into this trade until at least we got some breakthrough here for it to continue on. But we could have had a nice little movement here, okay, because we had lines for this one here, okay. So this could have been a move that you could have gotten all this right in here, but of course I didn't assess it until just now. Great Britain Pound USD is a no-go. Why? Well, because we have it up, we have it down, and we got under the price. It's in this consolidation area. There was a nice little run from last night up to this way. Doesn't look very good. Doesn't look promising for me at this point. Okay. Now, there could be traders out there who do all these other trades and, oh, when it passes the 20 and all that. You know what? I'm staying with just one or two that I work with. They break through in the retracement, and that's it. Same thing with the Great Britain Pound JPY. Now, I have, okay, so here's the Euro Great Britain Pound. Okay, and I sort of put an earmark here, which you can do just to kind of say, hey, look, if it comes off of this, we might go for a sell here. It's okay if the price action moves up and hits this line, creates like a little railroad track there, and then continues on. If that happens here, if this finishes out something like that, and this is a bear, if this turns out to be a bear, then this might be a good run. But you have this support area, okay? It's a pretty powerful support area right now. It's sitting at 89.09, okay? So that's a nice little zone for 8,900 area, so be very careful. A lot of reversal and switches, but if you see this kind of setup, and you can look previously, it just did something like that just a couple minutes ago, right? All right, let's move on quickly. Your JPY, same thing in consolidation, moving down or reversal, one of the two. We had an up cross. We'll probably come back down and have another cross, and it'll end up down in this zone. So I'm not going to mess with that right now. Euro USD, same thing. USG JPY. Now, don't get tricked, okay? You're looking at an up arrow, up, then all of a sudden you're still in this position, even though you got some higher highs and higher lows. Okay, you get this nice little channel. If you do get a breakout, or if it comes down around in this area, you could be looking at a possible retracement down to this area right here. But I am not going to take this trade until I get some sort of definitive bounce off of support and resistance. Last one, or second to last one, USD CHF. Yeah, no. Even though that we do have a nice little, it's sort of set there, right? But let me zoom in here a little bit. When you have to do this, you know, there's not a lot of liquidity happening, right? It's just crazy, right? 5 pips volume here. So I'm not really looking for a lot of movement. I mean, you could use this as an 8x trade for a buy, but really any really sparse movement, and I can tell right now they've been holding back on this for a couple of sessions here. Do something like this. There you go. Okay, so we're above the numbers. Let's get in there and mark something down here. Here's the first one right there. Put another one right here because we're in a buy pattern, right? This is the buy pattern. We're looking up here. We got a crossover happening right here. We got some movement because that crossover happening, it was confirmed here. So it's not like you could have got into all of this. But once the piece did cross over, then you possibly had an opportunity. But we're using this as a zone here, and it's sort of consolidating right now. So we're just going to wait and see how this plays out, because it could come back down and meet back up with the 20. So I'm not really excited about this. It's not giving me a lot of good detail in there. So I'm going to leave that for now. If I do get a penetration up around in this area, I will probably look at getting USD CHF. But USD CAD, same thing. We got a good run here. Let's look at placing line here. I don't want to put a line here because this is not really that mid-grade level I want, even though that it would match up with the 20. I'm not going to put that one there. I'll consolidate these two lines here for now. Maybe here. But again, we got a nice tight resistance area right here sitting at 1.2559. So 60. So pretty strong there. If it comes back up again, it's been sort of pushed away 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This could be the run to kind of push it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in reverse. Could be doing the same thing again. So keep that in mind as you're looking on. So really, we only got into the one trade so far, which sort of seems to be pushing on, and we'll see. Be very careful. There's news today at 11:20 for the AUD USD, so this might throw this all out just a little bit. I don't know how big of a movement it will be, but still be careful. So that's the mentality I kind of go through. When I see something that I want to get into, I really do. I wipe the lines. I already know what the lines look like for me. But I want to show you what I kind of do. Let me find one that's even restrictively close. All right, so if it was something like this and we just got here and I hadn't drawn the lines on yet, I would simply come in, grab the chart again, and drag it over. Okay. You switch time frames back up to the dailies. All right. Now you could select all of these, or you can come up and go to Object List and delete everything that's, it says trend lined on it, horizontal line, and then all the DEX SR stuff you can leave. Okay. And just hit delete. And delete. There you go. So I've deleted my regular lines in there. I'm going to come in and put my dailies on. Okay. And then it's down here. Looking for something mid-grade right around there. But this big gray line here too is something pretty good too. So I'll put something on that as well. So this will travel down. There you go, right there. And then I jump down to my H1. Now before you get all crazy, like, oh my God, there's so much happening on here. These are all set via the SR. So these are very important. This is like, you could treat this as a whole zone. Okay, but this is on an H1 level. So I'm going to go ahead and place one of my lines there. But it looks like all the lines are sort of taken. So I'm going to go this way. Change this out to, remember, dark turquoise. Okay, I'm going to reproduce this line here, but we got a nice little thick daily line there too. And another one there. So then I'm going to pop down to my 15-minute. And there we go. We got a nice little hourly, which kind of coincides. When you get this happening, right, you got an intraday, which is that little light blue, our 1 hour personal one we put down, and an SR line. You can kind of treat this as a whole zone, right? This is a nice little zone. If this price comes back down in this area anywhere, it's going with the trend, okay? It's heading back up to the trend area, right? As we're heading this way, look at this, every time bouncing up, bouncing up, bouncing up, bounce and up, okay? So you could wait until this zone comes out again. Keep that in mind for the next day or so. You know, if it does come back down in that area, that it's a good, nice little reversal, all right? Also on the longer time frames, you can look at that process too. Look at that, a nice little zone, right? Pop and kind of goes with the 200, right? Here, we pierced it because we were going up it, of course, and then we came back down and retested it. But we sort of tested it here too, all right? All right, so that's my read for this morning, and hopefully you got some good ideas there, but also, all right, this is about seeing the mentality and the method behind it, so you can start looking at that process as well, all right? And then once I get into another part of the session for later on, I will look at when I'm making a trade. If I find a trade setup, I'll record it as well. Hopefully you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you all inside the Simply Forex Trader Room, and trade well. Take care. This is Max.